Hello there. I'm Scotty. You're not. Welcome back to Halloween Horror Month and Happy Halloween. When you're saying this, I'm reviewing this on Halloween. You're gonna get this today. You're gonna get Halloween 5 Revisited. You're gonna get my 31 on 31. By this point, I would have announced it. Horror Director Edition. So, yes. And this is also the final part of my Bruce Campbell trilogy-a-thon, whatever I'm doing. 3 films. I did My Name is Bruce, which was good. Gwandy is his name. I did Man with a Screaming Brain, which is no good. And I'm doing this one, which is also good. So, yeah, I've heard about this movie, and I heard things, and I just couldn't believe it. But now I watched it, and I still don't believe it. Bubba Ho-Tep stars Bruce Campbell. It's directed by Don Coscarelli. Stars Bruce Campbell and Ozzie Davis. Bruce Campbell plays Elvis. An elderly Elvis in an old folks' home who has to fight a mummy with the help of a black JFK. Can't make that shit up. And it's based on a short story. And apparently it's very faithful to that short story. So, yeah. And as with any Bruce Campbell movie, it doesn't make a lick of sense. But this, I don't know. At least this was better than Man with a Screaming Brain. I didn't think the Man with a Screaming Brain was going to be so bad. It could be so bad it's good, but I don't know. It was just... moment I turned that movie on, I was like, oh boy, this looks like an adult film. The quality of this movie is not... the acting was better than an adult film, even from the foreign people, but I'm just like, I don't know. This one, yeah, I think is better. So we have Bruce Campbell, who plays who everyone believes to be Jeremiah Heff, who is an Elvis impersonator. But then, and he's living inside this old folks' home. But we get a backstory. Yes, I'm going to pull it up on my Xbox because I need a little help. Quiet! Why does that happen? I'm going to need to start muting that before I do anything. I'm pointing it here. And it connects there. Yeah. So, this is why I'm looking for this. I actually came across this from Cinemassacre. Weird thing is, I can't find the Monster Madness review they did on it. And I might be able to if I found the year that they did it, but I don't know what year it was. But, okay. Sebastian, not Jeremiah, Sebastian Heff. Well, we get this backstory through flashbacks, of course, that he was actually the real Elvis. And he keeps trying to tell people that. He's the real Elvis who back in 1977, back in the 1970s, he got tired of his life. They were telling him, make this movie, do this show, blah, blah. He got sick of it. So he hired an Elvis impersonator named Sebastian Heff pretend to be him so he can live Half's life and be a normal person. But then he had a contract that they could come back and switch whatever, and that didn't happen. It burned up or something. A propane explosion, that's what it says here, destroyed all documentation of their switch. And Half died in 1977 and not Elvis. I listen to this and I'm like, that actually makes kind of a lot of sense. Especially when he became Fat Elvis. People said he's a different person. What if he was? He was just a fat guy pretending to be Elvis. And he was on drugs and he was doing all that stuff, and real Elvis is alive and in an old folks' home. Well, if this story is true, he's not alive anymore. Spoiler alert. But yeah. So he kept on pretending to be staff or half, and after a performance, he injured himself and put himself into a coma. It's now 20 years later from when that happens. So I believe this is 2007 then? This came out in 2005. It came out in 2002. So we're supposed to believe this is 2007 then. So an Egyptian mummy named Bubba Ho-Tep, or later called Bubba Ho-Tep, was stolen during a U.S. museum tour and lost in a severe storm in East Texas. When the bus thieves drove into a river near the nursing home. The mummy dresses like a cowboy and feeds on the souls of the people in the home. And yeah, it takes the roommate of Elvis's roommate first, and we see that Bruce Campbell just likes staring at women's asses, and they put that in the movie. Apparently, one of the things that Bruce Campbell asked if they were going to show the penis that he looks at beginning of the movie. They don't, but you know. And because this is Don Coscarelli directing, Reggie Bannister has a role as the director of the nursing home. So, yeah. And eventually, Elvis has to team up to take on the mummy. He has to team up with a man named Jack, who claims to be John F. Kennedy, and that he wasn't assassinated, but they faked his assassination, turned him black, and threw him in, abandoned by Lyndon Johnson in a nursing home. You know, that would work if John F. Kennedy was one of the youngest U.S. presidents to exist. Did they make him look older? Is he not really that old? I don't know. I can't imagine. There's also a scar on the back of Jack's head that Elvis can't figure out what it is. I guess that's supposed to be when they turned him black. I don't know. And the mummy just starts to kind of hunt down the people in the old folks home. I like the black lady. What's her name? Is that Callie? No. The nurse. Just the nurse. I liked her. Because, like, Reggie's like, hey, you need to get back in there and give that person the sponge back. And she goes, all right, I'm going to finish my cigarette first. I don't know. She made me laugh. Daniel Roebuck is also the hearse driver, and he and some other guy keep showing up. Also, the mummy faces off with someone named Kimo Sabi. I don't remember if there was any... Hold on. I don't see anything in here about Kimo Sabi, but he's dressed like the Lone Ranger, so... Yeah. At their age, Jack and Elvis have to get around. Jack is in a wheelchair and Elvis has a walker. That's how they get around. Yeah. They try to destroy the mummy so that they can release the trapped souls of the other inhabitants that it's taking. And then finally go to heaven or wherever. They battle the mummy in the middle of the night. Jack's in his electric wheelchair trying to fight the thing. Like that. Elvis has a makeshift flamethrower that they put together. More firepower. No chainsaw, though. Jack thrown off his wheelchair by the mummy, and he's about to die, but Elvis shows up with the wheelchair, taunts the mummy to make it go away. douses it with lighter fluid or whatever it is, sets it on fire, falls to the ground, and it's burning. You think it's dead. Jack is now dying, and he gives him some kind of incantation that doesn't work. Mummy pops back up. Alice then uses the wheelchair to crash himself into the mummy, and the two fall down into the river, or under the bridge area. But Elvis now mortally wounded, and I'm like, okay, you brought Elvis back to life. He's really gonna die. But he's fine with it. He knocks over the broken sprayer thing that he's using, spilling the rest of the gasoline on the mummy. He sets the mummy on fire again, and this time it dies. I don't know why it didn't die the first time. Elvis then dies, but he's fine with it because he saved everyone. Everyone left at the retirement home. And he ends with thank you very much, and he dies. So his roommate's daughter that shows up, I thought she was going to be more of a character, like a love interest, but not really. It seemed like she was going to be, but no. And I don't know. I thought it was going to have an ending where it's like, oh, he saved the day, and now he's got newfound fame, and he's back to being Elvis impersonator again, or something. I don't know. And I do like that they never clear up whether or not he is actually Elvis or not. Because it's like they could easily go, actually, what actually happened is that you are Sebastian Half. You hit your head and now you just think you're Elvis. No, he thinks he's Elvis, but you don't know if that's real or not. He tells a story, you don't know if that's true or not. I think it works. And then, of course, also with Jack, you don't know if he's telling the truth, although he doesn't look like Kennedy. And the story they have to tell is that there was a conspiracy by Lyndon Johnson to turn him black so that no one would think he was John F. Kennedy. I don't know. All I'm saying is that bringing in Ted Raimi to play Jack Kennedy would have been more believable than this. And I know Ted Raimi was not old, but neither was Bruce Campbell. He could have made Ted Raimi look older. He could have been John F. Kennedy. I don't know. But Alder Davis was fun in this movie. He was funny. He had this whole thing. Like when he first finds him and he's knocked over, he's like, what happened? Who are you? Mr. Kennedy, Mr. President, who are you? I'm John F. Kennedy. You know what they did to me? Lyndon Johnson done it. And it's just, it's just fun. But yeah, I'll certainly give it a low, pretty good. I enjoyed it for what it was. So it's fun. It's a fun movie. Is it better than My Name is Bruce though? Well, I gave Bruce a middle of the road, didn't I don't know. Maybe I'll just give this a middle of the road. It has that Gwandi song in My Name is Bruce that's a little catchy than this one. This one isn't. I don't know. I do like also he's watching the TV and it's like, it's an all Elvis marathon. All Elvis, all the time. Every movie he ever made. And he's just like, I like that too. But yeah. So yeah. What are your thoughts on Bubba Ho-Tep? In the comments below, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I'm Sky, and I'll see you in the next one.